In this video, I'm going to talk about what is wisdom, and we'll get a good understanding as to why it's crucial to our walk with the Most High. So let's figure out what is wisdom. In Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 10 in the KJV, it reads, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding." Fearing the Lord is recognizing and understanding God's power and authority, allowing you to submit to Him and follow His commandments and treasure His law. It's having a deep respect for Him, allowing you to humble yourself and put Him first above all things. Honoring Him leads to wisdom because you're changing from how you used to live to now being obedient to God's law. So without wisdom, you can't have this understanding, you can't have this kind of reverence for the Most High. In Deuteronomy chapter 10, verses 12 and 13, the scriptures explain what fearing the Most High looks like. In the KJV it reads, "And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good." So God requires you to fear Him in order to have wisdom. And so much good change comes from these steps right here. All starting with gaining that wisdom and gaining that fear of the Lord. And it's not a grievous thing for us to be obedient to God's law. It's simply just difficult because we have to put off our flesh and we have to put in the work and effort to fight that good fight and endure that fight until the end. But having this wisdom lets you develop those skills and have that faith and discernment that you need to be able to go against your flesh and stop going against God's law. In Sirach chapter 4, verses 11 through 19, in the KJV, it reads, "Wisdom exalteth her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her. He that loveth her loveth life, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy. He that holdeth her fast shall inherit glory, and wheresoever she entereth, the Lord will bless. They that serve her shall minister to the Holy One, and them that love her the Lord doth love. Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul, and try him by her laws. Then will she return the straight way unto him, and comfort him, and show him her secrets. But if he go wrong, she will forsake him, and give him over to his own ruin." So we also see in these scriptures that wisdom is depicted as a woman. We know that with a woman, you have to earn her trust, by the actions that you do, and not just the words that you say. You have to earn her respect before she can give herself over to you. Let's look at verse 12. It read, "He that loveth her loveth life, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy." So early can mean early as in early in the morning, or it can mean, sincere diligence. For example, praying first thing in the morning is very wise. You have people who wake up and the first thing that they do is pack a bowl or pop a pill, or they're sitting there stressing about the things that they have going on in their life. Sometimes things are so stressful, it's the first thing that people will think about and stress over in the morning. But by praying first, you're beginning your day by seeking the Most High. You're starting your day around Him, and you're seeking His wisdom before you go throughout the day making decisions. And when your first decision, when you wake up in the morning, is to seek the Most High, it helps motivate your spirit to put off that flesh and ignore those fleshly desires. It prepares you for the day to come, and it brings you joy, and it helps you gain that wisdom. Let's also look at verse 17. It read 17 and 18. It read, "For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul, and try him by her laws. Then she will return the straight way unto him, and comfort him, and show him her secrets." So when you're first trying to get in line with the Most High and you're trying to pay attention to what changes are going to bring you wisdom, it won't be perfect in the beginning. You're going from changing how you live, how you've lived for so many years, being in sin, following your own thoughts, going off of your own understanding. Some sins maybe you knew that you were doing, others you were doing ignorantly because you didn't have this truth. And so not falling back into your old ways can be difficult because you're breaking this consistent pattern that you've been in. But the more that you sincerely and consistently seek the Most High, you will gradually gain that wisdom and gain that discernment and be delivered from those ways. Ultimately, earning wisdom's trust and allowing her to work in you and allow you to have that desire to fear the Most High and walk in obedience with Him. Now, verse 19, it reads, "But if he go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin." So if you reject wisdom, you will lose all of that guidance that she had provided you. You'll no longer have that reverence for the Most High or fear Him as the scriptures say to do. And this leads you falling back into your sin and the old ways that destroy you and lead you to death. And wisdom is even compared to money. In Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 16, it reads in the KJV, "How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver." In Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 12, KJV, it reads, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it." So you cannot buy your way into righteousness. You cannot buy submission to the Most High with materialistic things. You have to earn wisdom. You have to earn her trust. And you earn her trust through consistently seeking the Most High and disciplining yourself to receive that true understanding and true life. In Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 7 in the KJV, it reads, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil." So there are so many scriptures that support this right here. What it's saying is not to base your decisions off of what you think is okay or what you're feeling. If you don't have the righteous structure from wisdom that the Most High creates, you will be led in this life by your own thoughts, your own understandings that lead you outside of God's ways and into sin. So we must have the desire to fear the Lord because that is the beginning of wisdom. Through His wisdom, the Most High gives us the understanding and direction needed to walk in His ways and receive the path that leads to life. All right. Now let's read directly from the scriptures on how to obtain this wisdom. In Sirach chapter 6, 32 through 37, this is in the NRSV, it reads, "If you are willing, my child, you can be disciplined, and if you apply yourself, you will become clever. If you love to listen, you will gain knowledge, and if you pay attention, you will become wise. Stand in the company of the elders. Who is wise? Attach yourself to such a one. Be ready to listen to every godly discourse, and let no wise proverbs escape you. If you see an intelligent person, rise early to visit him. Let your foot wear out his doorstep. Reflect on the statutes of the Lord, and meditate at all times on his commandments. It is he who will give you insight to your mind, and your desire for wisdom will be granted." So study the commandments. Study the scriptures that God has provided for us. Reflect on them, examine yourself, find out how in your life are you living opposite to God's law. What do you need to change? What do you need to start doing? Think about who you're surrounding yourself with. Are they in agreement to your walk? Are they trying to make the same moves that you're making to get right with the Most High? Are they going to hold you back or make you stumble? We know that in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33, it says that bad company corrupts good morals. So begin making these changes. Discipline yourself and sincerely start to seek the Most High. This way you can receive that joy and comfort and wisdom and fear of the Lord that God may bless you with in order to lead you to a true life. And so with that, I say shalom.